Sorry. The American border crisis. I'm gonna try and take myself serious here. So, the American border crisis is like essentially like everybody's all like, I'm not doing this serious. Hold on. So Trump, he's saying we need to strengthen the border and we need to make the borders bigger, right? And Trump's argument is that the reason we need to make the border bigger is that there will be people who don't behave with the American values necessary to make America as great a nation as it is. They are just going to come here and, like animals, just take as much as they possibly can until there's conflict. And we need to reduce the amount of people that do that from getting in, because those people will come in and because they don't care will be criminals. They'll steal, they'll take, and they don't care because they're just desperate animals trying to survive. That's the whole argument. Now, the side of Kamala's on is, well, look, I get what you're saying, but if these people were just taking until there was conflict, why would the people at the border be surviving as long as they are? I mean, you have to acknowledge a bit of an American spirit, the continued attempt to fight, the continued endurance, and making the best of what little they have. I mean, surely that evokes some sort of American pride within you. And so now we're at a point, there's confusion, right? Where it's just kind of like a couple of things. One, the form of predation that the American border is trying to keep out already inside of America, and it's not just immigrants. It's not just your foreign-looking individuals. It's white people too. These people take as much as they possibly can until there's conflict, and then they just use the reserves to hide from the conflict while it's happening. And not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the whole idea is richer communities purposely instigate issues in poor communities so that while those poor communities are misbehaving due to their loss, the rich community can say, those animal-like actions are why you're not allowed to hang out with us. You know, that's pretty much the whole idea. That's the accusation, right? The poorer people, the poor people, they're kind of like, no, the argument for the rich side too is that being poor is a mindset, and being poor, whether you're rich or not, is determined by how well you handle being poor. If when poor, you become a predator, you take as much as you can, you have no concern for others, well then you're likely to stay in poor environments. But if when being poor, you figure things out, you become more reserved and you save, and you establish better traits with the environment, now that is considered rich behavior. And that's the argument that sort of saves the rich from that accusation. And so, this removes the idea that any of our issues have anything to do with race. Anyone who is racist is so stupid that I don't think we need to concern ourselves with them at this point. Did you hear about that white supremacist gang that got arrested? They arrested everyone but like 2 of its members. What do they have left? So yeah. Anyway, excuse me, I have to burp. So, yeah. I don't know how to solve that. Here's the thing. Every single one of these guys that take as much as they can are watching, and they're looking for the momentary images to mimic. They're looking for the momentary examples. Y'all said that when you said that he's getting that because he did this. Well, I'm doing it now. How can you tell the difference? And then they just kind of crab around. Their outer shell is like a little disguise that they're using. They're crabbing around, and they're just pinching, and they're like, no, I'm doing what you said. I'm doing what you said. And then, like, you know how it is. They don't want to listen to anything, so they're breaking apart cooperation. It's logical scrambling. Now it's hard to communicate what it is that's happening, and they move even faster while y'all can't think, right? And so, I don't think the issue is necessarily at the border. The idea is that if we increased the rich mindset in others. And I know I'm sounding like Andrew Tate a little bit. And I can't say it because I haven't really ever heard a lot of what he says, but I'm sounding like a business guy. Like if you listen to this 12-step program, all that, I'm not doing that. The idea is the border is trying to keep out people that are animals, just sucking up as much as they can from the environment, and then whenever the environment's empty, running to the next one. The next one, of course, being America, right? That mindset is in itself already inside of America in a lot of ways. Correcting the issue at the border would be accomplished by correcting this mindset within the border. Correcting this mindset, getting it understood, establishing better trade understanding between everybody will also increase our ability to handle what's happening at the border. Because that's really all we're trying to keep out. That's really all that anyone's trying to keep out. They're trying to keep out the guys that don't have the desire to actually contribute. They don't have the desire to actually help out. They don't have the desire to keep things going upwards, but that just see that there's a lot of stuff here and are just like, oh, I can take from this as long as possible. Those are the guys we're trying to avoid. So fixing this mindset, figuring out what causes it, isolating it, and then seeing what we can do to change the way it thinks, to be more equal in its trade, will actively change how we see the border crisis and how we manage the issues that are headed towards us being stopped by our borders. Language barrier. But yeah, this is kind of where I start getting the headache, so I'm gonna take some time.